Welcome to the Brave community. What I'm going to do in this video is just explain to you the opportunity that is literally in front of you right now. Right now on Earth, change is happening rapidly and it's only going to get faster from here. Artificial intelligence, new technologies, robotics, huge advancements in society is happening incredibly fast. So things are heating up. It ain't going to slow down. All right, things are speeding up and we need to be able to adapt and change and make sure that we as brands are powerfully positioned to, one, take advantage of this, number two, not be left behind, and number three, make sure that we are positively impacting the world and doing our job as sovereign citizens of planet Earth. So I truly believe that building a purpose-driven brand is the best investment you can make today. As artificial intelligence gets faster, people are going to lose their jobs. Yes, sir, that is a guarantee. But what happens in any times of great advancements, when the printing press came along, when the Industrial Revolution came along, people's jobs were disrupted, yes. But at the same time, there was a whole new economy that was born. All right, so new jobs are created in times of massive change. And so there is a huge opportunity for you right now to position yourself and start building something that is sustainable, that is going to help you, your family, your local community, and the world around you thrive as a result. All right, we have a huge opportunity on our shoulders and our hands. So I just want to give you a little bit of an understanding as to why this community exists and what your role inside this community is going to be. All right, before I tell you how you can take advantage of building a personal brand and why it is so important, I want to give you a bit of an understanding as to what is happening on Earth right now. All right, so there is something called a seculum, which is approximately 80 to 100 years. This is the length of a long human life. All right, in the book, The Fourth Turning, which I recommend that you read, it explains this concept in detail and gives us an understanding as to how time and history repeats itself over and over again. And while we don't have a crystal ball, we can't look into the future and tell for certain what is going to happen. We can make an educated guess based on what has happened in the past. So a seculum is broken up into four turnings, all right? The crisis, the high, the awakening, the unraveling. All right, and in the book, it goes into detail about why these things happen and why these turnings keep repeating themselves. And there's similarity and there are echoes from the past that we can listen to predict our future. And it is important to be able to have guesses, educated guesses as to what is happening around the corner so we can position ourselves ahead of the curve so we are not left behind. It is really important. All right, so if I was to ask you, where do you think we are on the current seculum? What would you say? All right, you might look in the news and see wars kicking off. You might look in the news and think, what the heck is happening to the world? All right, now, if you guessed the crisis, you would be absolutely correct. This is where we stand right now. All right, and in the crisis, which started around 2008, at the start of the financial crisis, it is coming towards an absolute peak right now. The Western world seems more divided than ever. Wars are happening, profiteering, businesses are doing crazy things. The spirit of mankind is being challenged. What we can look at is history. When was the last crisis? The last crisis happened at World War II. All right, and I'm not trying to say this to scare you and say World War III is coming, but it is definitely a possibility. But we need to understand that as we sit at the peak of the crisis right now, the crisis is going to be coming to an end in the next few years. We're going to be moving into a new turning, which offers us a huge opportunity. And so the echoes of the past can help us determine as to what is going to happen next. All right, so after World War II, the economy in the world went into overdrive. All right, people were working together, nations were working together, the economy boomed, businesses were blowing up, people were making huge amounts of wealth. What ends up happening is the generation that was born in each of these different turnings has a different mindset, a way of viewing the world. And I believe us who are coming of age in the top of the crisis have a huge opportunity to help the fourth turning move around into a positive outcome for society, because one thing is for sure, that at the end of this winter seculum, At the end of this crisis, we are going to go into a new transformative turning, one that is going to be completely different to the one we are living in now. All right, and you can start to see, if you look at artificial intelligence, if you look at all of these advancements that are happening in society, you can sense it's all building up to something big. All right, and that big thing is either going to benefit mankind and society, or it is going to be completely detrimental. All right, now I believe, and based on what a lot of experts say that is going to happen next, is based on three possible outcomes. We either go back to the Stone Age, which is either going to be triggered by a nuclear war, or we're going to move into a 1984 style George Orwell society, which is a complete authoritarian, tyrannical world government, or we're going to move into a second tier business and society, which is completely different to the one that we know now. All right, where we are equipped to act locally and plan globally. This is the path that we should be aiming towards as a society. We need to be working towards this in order for us to move into a powerful new turning after this crisis. All right, so there are three possible outcomes, and one outcome that is going to benefit us who are alive now, alive and well. So the choice inevitably is ours. All right, and that is what we're doing. We're playing part of the solution in this community. We're trying to build people and businesses that can provide us and drive us towards the second tier society. Now, when I say a second tier society, I'm referring to spiral dynamics, which I'm not going to get into now. But in spiral dynamics, it talks about the fact that the majority of mankind is in tier one. And as we evolve and we progress up the spiral, we will move into a second tier of existence. And so what I want to introduce you, which I believe is the opportunity that's going to drive us towards that more beautiful option, is tapping into what we call the meaning economy. The meaning economy, it's human connection, it's coaching, it's wellness, it's health, it's fitness. It's driving society towards the values and the purpose that actually makes us human in the first place. Because as artificial intelligence develops and takes away the jobs that are completely mundane and soul destroying, humans are going to crave connection, experience, wellness, health. That is where the trends are driving towards now. So for you as a wellness entrepreneur, as a coach, as a creator, as someone who is forward thinking and trying to innovate, the meaning economy is where I recommend you need to be spending your time. All right, this is where you're sharing content with the world. This is where you're educating, you're communicating, you're building relationships online. You're tapping into what we are seeing right now. I believe that people aren't going to be going to schools or universities anymore, but the education of the future lies with online education, the information space, buying courses, buying programs from experts in their field, going to wellness retreats, spending time in facilities with other humans, connecting, eating, bonding. Human connection is what's going to drive us forward into a more beautiful world that our hearts know is possible. We call that the meaning economy. All right. So if you're a coach in any way, shape, or form, if you're a consultant, if your mission is around adding to the wellness and the health of society, you are already positioning yourself in an amazing spot to take advantage of the meaning economy and to support the growth of the meaning economy. All right, so here are some stats on what the meaning economy is doing right now and the forecasted growth of what we can expect to see. As we move to 2040, this is going to continue to boom, especially with the advancement of artificial intelligence and robotics. As AI starts taking over all of those systems, the mechanics of what we're doing right now, the mundane tasks, the focus is going to move towards what's happening up here for human beings. All right, so skills based on helping people navigate their own emotional intelligence. Skills that are based on helping people get fit. Because at the end of the day, we are still humans. We're still organic, natural animals to some degree. That is what we're living in. That is our reality. And so in order to make the most of that, we need to be able to hire people like yourself to help us break through those barriers, whether it's coaching, whether it's relationship coaching, health and fitness coaching, wellness coaching, spirituality, or whether it's in-person events and experiences. That is what the meaning economy is, and it is only going to get bigger and better and more in demand from now on. And so the importance of the meaning economy for the world is huge. There are huge implications of this. All right, I believe the more human beings that are tapping into this and helping each other throughout the times that we are going through, the crisis that the world is facing, we are going to help each other move through and follow the path that is not returning back to the Stone Age through nuclear war, that is not going into an authoritarian controlling government, but is actually going into a different paradigm, a second tier paradigm of thinking, being, and relating to each other. And so the importance of the meaning economy for the world is going to be addressing global challenges through business, environment, inequality, health, and well-being, contribution to sustainable development goals, long-term benefits of ethical business practices on global stability and prosperity. So what I like to do as a comparison is everything that has been done in the past, the old world, the old way of doing things is domination. It's profiteering, it's manipulation, it's unethical business practices. It's focusing on commission over mission. It's short-term thinking. How can you make as much money in the shortest amount of time possible? All right, think all of the get-rich-quick schemes that you're seeing right now. It's worker exploitation. It's environmental degradation. These are some of the hallmarks of domination-based business practices that you see around the world. But with that in mind, there are a huge amount of beautiful businesses that are emerging today that are based around the idea of partnership over domination. And these businesses focus on sustainable growth. They focus on facilitation over manipulation. They focus on the mission and not the commission. They are committed to connection and truth, and they believe in relationship over revenue. In order to drive our society towards the more beautiful world that our hearts know is possible, is by tapping into more partnership. And so what I want to share with you, and the reason we built the Brave community, is to help you build your brand in the meaning economy so you can be ahead of the curve and start being part of the solution. All right, so the way that you build it is through becoming a brave brand. That's literally what we talk about, because it requires bravery in today's day and age to step up and fight for something bigger and to be part of a bigger solution for mankind. All right, it requires a hell of a lot of bravery, because at the end of the day, the mechanics of business are relatively simple. The biggest blocks that people are facing are right up here, right in the mind, the limiting beliefs, the conditioning, the fear, the imposter syndrome, all of these things that are stopping you from actually going out and trying to make an impact and doing what you were put on earth to do. All right, the thing that is stopping you from becoming the person that you were destined to become is what's happening up here, and that's what we want to help you with. So how to build your brand in the meaning economy is to identify what your core values are and align them with your business goals. So your core values are the things that keep you sane, the things that keep you on track. These are the things that help other people also realize why you are someone worth listening to. All right, your values are everything. And right now, the world is lacking in people with values and integrity. Now, we believe that there is a three-phase approach to building a brave brand. And the way we do it is by taking people through personal branding, where you actually identify what is your vision for the future, what is your mission, how are you actually going to accomplish that, and what are your values, what are the values that your brand stands for. And then how do you start developing a really clear and coherent message that you can actually go out into the world and start making an impact. Then phase two, you have a message. How do we get that message out to as many people as possible so we can start affecting people, we can start changing their lives through the content you're producing? All right, because right now, the meaning economy, the way information is shared between one creator and another creator is through the production of content, through the production of filming yourself on a video like this and getting your message out there. All right, now in phase two, content mastery, this requires a hell of a lot of bravery. All right, because it ain't easy to get on camera. It ain't easy to share your message. It ain't easy to stand up against the powers that be and to stand up against the domination-based world that has been built around us, that has gotten us to this crisis period in human history. And once we take you through the content strategy, we give you that bravery, we give you the confidence, we then help you implement that in phase 3. And the implementation is so important. How are you actually going out and doing it? How are you facilitating people as opposed to manipulating them? How are you marketing yourself with integrity? How are you showing up and not just trying to make a quick buck or be short-term in your thinking? How are you actually implementing yourself and resonating with the right kind of people? That's what we're helping you do in this Brave community. That's our mission. And so I just want to go through some benefits and opportunities of the meaning economy for you and your business. So essentially what you're going to find is when you start building a brand that is based on the meaning economy and a brave brand, you're going to start having enhanced brand loyalty and trust with your consumers and your customers. Companies that align with ethical values and demonstrate commitment to social and environmental responsibilities tend to build deeper connections with consumers, leading to increased brand loyalty and trust. The next is market differentiation. All right. So in times of crisis, there is a huge rise of snake oil salesmen, people who are peddling get rich quick schemes. There is a huge rise of people who want to take advantage of times of crisis, who want to play on your fears, who want to make you feel insecure, insignificant, and less than what your potential is. All right, so it's important first and foremost to protect yourself against those kinds of schemes, but then also to differentiate yourself in the way you're showing up online. And the way that you differentiate yourself is by focusing on meaningful initiatives and attracting people who share your own values. So you need to understand what your own values are so you can start standing up for them and fighting for them. The next benefit is resilience and sustainability. Resilience in times of winter is the most important trait for you to be able to build a brand that is actually successful today. The economy has gone to crap. People are afraid. People are scared of investing, but they are also looking for guidance. They're also looking for leaders in their space who represent resilience. All right, so that is your opportunity. Can you be resilient in a period of winter so that when the next turning comes around and we move into spring, we move into summer, you're going to be flourishing. You're going to be in a huge amount of abundance. If you can win in the winter, my friend, you're going to be unstoppable. And then there's innovation and growth. The necessity to adapt to the values of the meaning economy drives innovation in your products, services, and business models. Rather than starting in 5 years' time or 10 years' time, when the curve has just gotten ahead of you, you're starting now. All right, there's no better time to start now. And you can see the rise of influencers online, the rise of social media. It's only getting bigger, it's only getting stronger, and people need a positive voice in the industry. You also are going to start to notice and feel stronger relationships in what you do. All right, so when you commit to ethical practices, this improves relationships with all stakeholders, partners, local communities, clients, fostering a supportive network for your brand. All right, this is so important in community building. When you focus and you optimize for the success and the happiness of the people around you and the clients around you over just trying to milk them for more money, you're going to build diehard fans, an amazing community online that is going to help you and support you, but it's also going to support your greater mission on planet Earth, all right? So stronger relationships are built through trust, and they're built through having integrity with what you're doing. So this is your call to action, my friend. How are you going to respond to this opportunity? How are you going to play a positive role in our society moving to a more beautiful world our hearts know is possible? How are you going to contribute? All right. So welcome to the Brave community. We are going to be updating and sharing consistently new insights and new courses as we go along. But I want you to commit to this process. I want you to introduce yourself, and I want you to get involved and be part of the solution. All right, my friend, I will see you in the community. Please introduce yourself and let's get this show on the road. Let's start being part of the solution.